Hello, everybody. Welcome to Geekonomics. We're back. It's another day. It's another dollar. We are still in the Zoom world. We are working on something. We're up to something. Do you want to talk about it, Brian, or should we keep it a secret?
Well, maybe in June we'll be in the studio. We'll say that.
Maybe. We'll say we're not going to do it out there. What's about it? So how you doing, Brian?
I'm doing good, Mark. It's been a long week.
Yes.
It's weird. This last couple of weeks have felt very long.
Could have been a year. I would have agreed with you.
Yeah, seriously. But other than that, I got a lot of news. We got to talk about Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Our review on Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Also, I think we have to talk about the finale of Moon Knight, right?
Yes.
Because I
that
couldn't
was last week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did we talk about
the this season of Moon Knight?
Yeah.
Finale of the series?
Of the series?
Finale of the season? Who knows?
Because I saw you last week, I felt like we talked about it.
We did talk about it a little bit. So it's kind of, and we sat outside after Doctor Strange and conversated for about an hour with John. So
for way too long.
Way too long. I was freezing by the time I got to my car.
Well, it's like the movie got over at like 10. Yeah. And I think we're out there at 11:30.
We were out there for a whole nother movie, basically. The people that came in after us to watch in the same theater we did came out, and we're still standing there like idiots.
Yeah.
Instead of going to someplace warm, just stand outside like a bunch of numbskulls.
It's what we do.
It's what we do.
Mark, before we get into the news, I got lots of news. Anything?
Got the news.
Anything worth talking about this week?
I
know you did a show this past weekend.
I didn't do a show per se. I went and visited Matt Bryon, who was at Matt's Sports Cards and Collectibles for Free Comic Book Day.
Yes, and I went on Friday.
Yes, so I swung in there on Saturday, and boy, howdy, was it busy.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on. A lot of kids.
Great. That's all good news.
A lot of younger kids. Like really, really young kids up to like junior high age. Yeah. So yeah, it was crazy. They had a lot of stuff going on. It was my first time in the new store, I realized. I hadn't been there. I think I went in once and didn't really walk around really.
Yeah.
I just went in, said hi, and then left kind of thing. But yeah, so it's very nice in there. It's in the whole different feel than the old store. It's bright and sunlight. It's interesting.
Yeah, I love it. He's always adding more, of course.
Oh yes, yeah. And the downstairs, I went down there for like a microsecond. There was a lot of kids down there, so I went right back upstairs again because I felt old.
Yeah.
No, it was good. I got the bunny mask issue because there was the guys from Aftershock were there. Aftershock, so let's talk with him. And I said to him how my friend who I do a podcast with has not stopped talking about this book, Bunny Mask. So I figured I should check it out.
Yeah, it's good.
So I guess this the Free Comic Book Day version is telling of the story from the neighbor's perspective of the first volume.
Oh, you don't want to ruin it then.
Yeah, so just so you know.
Oh, I already read volume 1, but yeah, I didn't.
I'm saying if you didn't grab the Free Comic Book Day.
Oh, okay. I didn't grab it.
The neighbor, I guess, who's in this story, is a voyeur and drilled a hole in the wall into the main character's apartment, I guess.
Oh, gee, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it's all from that perspective, so it's all random parts of the story.
Oh, so it's like a
highlights.
Highlights.
Yeah. So I'm interested to read it. I really know nothing about it besides you talking about it. And then I met another artist who was next to Matt Ryan. Actually, he has his own comic called Heat. Here's his card for his book. There.
All right.
So yeah, it's Javon Stokes. He's the owner of Visually Stoked Media. There's a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, so he's got a book, which I was going to get into, read that as well. And then Matt's got his new book coming out, Brenda, So there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of new stuff. And I guess Bunny Mask has got a volume 2's coming out soon. They were saying.
Really? Because I haven't. Yeah, I mean, issues. I stopped because I'm like, I'll just buy the volumes. But volume 2, I'm excited for.
It's gonna. I guess to be coming out. It's gonna. He was using all the technical terms, like it's going to be in the FOPs and all that. I was like, huh? Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. But I guess it's going to be in the previews soon. They're going to start promoting it, and they have a bunch of other books that they do. Yeah, and their shtick at Aftershock, which I didn't know, is they do like short runs. So everything's like 8 to 12 books for one story.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know that that's what they did, but it's pretty interesting. So talked to them for a little bit, hung out with Matt Ryan, got some free comic books, and then stopped at Bill's on the way back, got some books from there, which he had for me on his subscription. And so that was my free comic book day. Just a lot of running around to different comic shops.
Yeah, I mean,
every comic shop, you can only get one book now, and if you want other books, you have to like donate or do stuff or.
Yeah, that's great. I donated a bunch of food. Yeah. I donated a bunch of food on Friday, and then Matt was just like, grab, what you want.
Yeah.
So I did that. And the reason Matt started doing that is because people would come in and
just clean it out and then just walk away.
Yeah, you're cleaning house and it's supposed to be for the kids mostly. And you have grown adults like me, but like people just cleaning out, and he's just like, I can't do this. So you're giving to charity, you're helping out with good causes, Enfield Food Shelf, and you get some free comics.
Yeah. It was the first like free comic book day back, kind of like it was like, I know he did a thing last year, he said.
Yeah, but it wasn't that big.
It wasn't that big, but this year was like his first big one, and it's 35 years of Matt.
Yeah. I told you. And now, if the weather had been better, he was going to do stuff in the park. Yeah. But there was chance of rain.
Yeah, and it was super windy too. So.
It just got windy, but he wants to utilize the park to do activities.
Yeah.
So hopefully next year the weather will be better.
Yeah, nicer. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's weird. My fondest memory of Free Comic Book Day was like the Cinco de Mayo, when we used to have the Cinco de Mayo party. It would be like 80 degrees, sunny, hot.
Yeah.
And we haven't had a sunny, hot Free Comic Book Day in a long time.
No. Well, this weekend's supposed to be that way. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, excited.
New Hampshire. So.
We have the town-wide tag sale in Enfield, Connecticut, and I will be selling stuff. It should be a good time.
I'll be watching go-karts go around in circles.
Woo! So for me, the only thing I have is I finished season 7 of Letterkenny. Season 7, I thought, so far, I think the first half is the weakest, not writing wise, just story wise, because nothing really happened until the very end.
I think that was their COVID time. So that's why I know from that's what the public access thing was. Because they weren't really able to do anything because of COVID. So they just like did a public access show basically.
I don't know if that was filmed in COVID time because I think that came out.
Yeah. So I can't remember, but I know the first half of one of the seasons was during COVID. So it was very.
But anyway, I did like the public access.
Dan wasn't on a bunch of them because of certain things and stuff like that.
I did like the public access stuff. I still like the writing. It was still great. I'm just saying story-wise, nothing moved.
No, yeah, it didn't really.
Until the hockey game, which was awesome. And I just started season 8. And season 8 has started off gangbusters. Stewart gets ripped, which was... I did not see that coming. And then we have way more hockey. ESPN, I just saw the episode when their American cousin comes to visit and they go to the strip bar.
Yeah, Michigan, yeah.
And it's hilarious because...
Then you meet, what's his face there?
Yeah, the weird guy.
Yeah.
And how Daryl's like, I'm in love with a stripper, and then McMurray's like, the stripper's in love with me, and which, yeah, it's so funny. It was a great episode. But anyway, I'm loving season 8. We know Shoresy starts at the end of May. Very excited. That preview they gave us was perfect. I was just like, how are they going to do this? And man, it was crazy. He's such a good actor, the guy who plays Wayne and now plays Shoresy. He's pulling it off that I'm not even thinking about Wayne when he's playing this other character.
No, and he's got the tooth missing from when he was playing hockey originally. That he has a fake tooth, so he's able to pull in and out.
But anyway, if you're not watching this show, watch it. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh. I shared the thing yesterday from the steak dinner episode. Ugh. It's like that, like is a perfect encapsulation of how good the writing in that show is. Yeah. You can just take a little thing about a buck and doe steak dinner and let's do like basically a 10-minute segment. And it's like the funniest thing in the world.
I know. And it was so great because season 8, Wayne is back after finding out him and his girlfriend break up. I'm not going to give spoilers.
Yes.
Why? And he kind of goes down this rabbit hole where he watches this old TV show, which was hilarious.
Yes.
But he's finally back, and it's kind of like the show is like coming back, and it's just, I don't know. It's really good. Anyway, that's the only thing other than getting ready for the town-wide tag sale. And then we have ClipsCon coming up at the end of this month.
Yes, we do.
Which is May 29th. It's the Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, the 29th.
May 29th. It's in Bristol, Connecticut.
Yes, at the hotel. I can't remember the name of the hotel right now, but it's the one across from ESPN.
Yeah.
So
that should be good. But Mark, let's get into
the debut of Matt Ryan's new book that we're going to have him on hopefully the week before that show.
Yeah.
Talk about, because he's going to have he's releasing a page a week on his Patreon right now.
Oh, wow.
But the first hard version, like tangible copy of the book is going to be available at CliffsCon. There's going to be 3 covers.
Oh,
CliffsCon
nice.
has got like a Marvel inspired cover. And then Matt's doing a sketch cover. And then the regular cover for the book is Conan, a tribute to Conan, kind of. So, yeah.
Sweet.
So, yeah, it should be very, very cool.
Nice. I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, and I'll talk about it more when he comes on. But
yeah,
Matt told me the story of this book.
Save it
about it. Yeah, but I'm just gonna say I was talking about it at Free Comic Book Day, which made us think about having him come on. We were doing a show, one of Bill's first shows at the mall. So it was like 4 years ago. Matt and I went to IHOP for breakfast, and he's like, I had this idea for a book, and I've written it all out. And he literally had a notebook like this thick of all like pages and notes and everything in it. And he had written the whole story out of the whole book. And he read the whole story to me, and he's like, turned to me, he's like, you think I should write this, make this a comic? Should this good? I'm like, yeah, do it. And so 4 years later, it's finally coming to fruition.
I remember.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Put a pin in that, though. To be continued when Matt comes.
To be continued. That's your teaser for coming soon.
We have some quick news. Ahsoka has officially begun production.
Yes, it has.
Filoni posted a photo with the Ahsoka director's chair with his hat on it.
Yes. I'm assuming he's running the whole show for this one because it's his baby, so to speak.
Of course. The only one they're not involved with is the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which is coming out.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, that makes sense. That's a legacy character, as they would call
it. Doctor Who has now casted their 14th Doctor.
Yes, the first African American doctor.
Yes.
Or first
I'm going to try to
African-American
pronounce
lead,
his
I
name.
should say.
What?
First African American lead, because there is the doctor in the Jodie Whittaker story, the woman doctor who's African American.
Okay. I haven't watched in a while.
I think there's a season that I've totally missed. I don't know how it happened, but during COVID, I think I missed a season somehow.
There hasn't been a new season. I think the last new season was maybe. There hasn't been a new one for a while.
Yeah.
Because of COVID.
Very weird. They haven't really promoted anything. It's been very strange.
It's been very quiet.
Yeah.
But let me try to pronounce his name.
Okay, this is gonna be fun.
He is from Sex Education, a TV show.
Yes.
This on Netflix, and it's a BBC show.
It is.
You can watch it on Netflix. His name is Nikuti Gatwa.
Pretty close. Nikuti Gatwa.
Nikuti Gatwa. Gatwa. Okay,
yes.
Gatwa. Okay, I was pretty close on that.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good for you. For you, it was amazing.
I practiced it in the mirror for an hour, so that's why. Gatwa won Best Actor Award at the Scottish BAFTAs in 2020 for his performance as Eric in Sex Education, and he will also be in the upcoming Barbie film along Margot Robbie. So,
I guess going to Doctor Who, there was a season 12.
Okay.
It started at the beginning of 2020.
Yeah, and then what?
And then it ended
Never.
March of 2020.
And there wasn't one in 2021.
I don't remember this story or this series.
Well, it's all on HBO Max.
Yes, Ryan and Graham.
So I probably will watch the last season or the last episode with Whittaker. I'm hoping the writers change. I'm hoping they get better.
Everything changes. The what's his face is back. The executive producer who used to do it is back. There's been a big shakeup of everything as far as I know for season 13.
Well, the showrunner's staying, Russell T. Davis.
Chris Chibnall, who's a showrunner now, is going to stay for season 13, which is Jodie Whittaker's last season.
Yeah, right.
Then the new guy will take over after that.
Okay, Russell T. Davis.
Yeah, Russell T. Davies comes back. He was there during Tennant, Smith, and part of Capaldi, I think.
Nice. All right. Well, that makes me feel good. So that's exciting.
Yeah, because I don't remember any of that end of that season.
Yeah. Well, we have time to watch because we still have to watch the finale when she switches, which might just be the holiday episode, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, Joe Martin. That's the actor I was thinking of. She played the fugitive doctor.
Oh, okay.
She was towards the end of the last season.
All right. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to slowly watch it.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of nice to watch Doctor Who's when they're all out anyway.
Yeah, they did the New Year's Day special.
Yeah, I remember that.
I vaguely remember that, yeah.
Also, I got two more things. Box office. Doctor Strange 2 kicked off blockbuster season with 185 million opening, which is really good. The Batman did 134 million opening just 2 months ago. And I think Doctor Strange 2, it had favorable to mixed reviews, but I still thought it was a lot of fun, and I want to see it again. I'm hoping to see it again before it's out of the theater. I know a couple of our friends didn't get to see it, so I will definitely try to go with them. And then the one thing that everyone's talking about, and this is going to be interesting, we got the first teaser for the Avatar, The Way of the Water, which is coming out in
Yes, we did.
Christmas vacation. Now it's coming out December 16th. Now it's 13 years since the previous movie came out.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna lay this out before we get into this conversation. The filming of Avatar 3 just wrapped last September, which is coming out December 20th, 2024. Avatar 4 is coming out December 2026, and the final installment, Avatar 5, will be coming out December 2028. So they have Christmas locked down until 2028. It's gonna
every other year. The old Star Wars mantra.
My prediction. I saw the. I watched the trailer a couple more times.
Here's my question: will we get the 5? Will people's interest be non-existent by the time 5 comes out?
The thing with this is these movies are all being made back to back, so I think we're getting 5 no matter what happens. I think this Avatar film, because people might be interested, it will do well.
Be around by the time the 5th one comes out.
Yes, theaters will be around. Theaters are not going to go anywhere. I think by 5, I think diminishing return. I think
by 4. I think by 3, diminishing return. I think after this one, the reaction I've gotten to this one from I've seen a lot of people's reaction to this new one that's coming out.
But we haven't seen
majority of people are, who cares? You're doing a sequel that supposedly takes place right after the first one, from what I'm hearing from people.
We don't know. It's just a teaser. We don't know anything.
But the shtick I'm getting is that it's taking place not long after the first movie came out.
I mean,
so
time-wise
in the Avatar world.
Let's look at this objectively. I'm looking at this going, okay, so when the first Avatar came out, the CG was top notch. Yes. No doubt there. The 3D, which what we didn't get a lot of 3D movies at the time.
One of the first ones.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
So now
the first major IMAX thing.
Right. 13 years later, the CG is impeccable now.
Yes.
What I saw in the teaser is no different than a major MCU
movie we saw right after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the CG doesn't blow me away. It's got to rely on a very good story.
Yes.
So if the story is good and it can build momentum, but if it's just a rehash of the same thing but underwater, I mean, it all depends on writing the story and what it could get people to come back 4 more times in the future.
Yeah.
I just feel like it might be It might be like the Fantastic Beast thing where it's going to be burnout by 5.
I don't know if it's even that. I think it's just the fact that it's why? Who's asking for this besides James Cameron?
I know. That, I think that's all the ultimate question. But all 5 are happening. They've all been made. So, they're all being made, so I kind of feel like you have Disney behind you. They're going to promote the living hell out of this movie every other Christmas. So, and I think it will do well this Christmas because it's a Christmas movie. When a big blockbuster comes around in Christmas time, the whole family goes, so I think it will do well. I don't think it's going to do as good as the first Avatar. And
going off of the always keep knowledge with a grain of salt, Wikipedia, the premise for this Avatar, The Way of Water is the name of it, set more than a decade after the events of the first film, Way of Water begins to tell the story of the Sully family, the trouble that follows them, the lengths they go to keep each other safe, the battles they fight to stay alive, and the tragedies they endure. So you have the man who is most glad that Avatar is back, Sam Worthington. He plays Jake Sully, former human who fell in love with the Natiri and befriended the Na'vi after becoming a part of the Avatar program, which is the story of the first movie. At the end of the movie, he becomes the leader of the Na'vi, along with Mowat, and transfers his mind into the Avatar permanently, because the Avatar was not handicapped where he was. So
yeah,
that makes sense. Zoe Saldana returns as the Natiri.
I don't know any of these names.
That's the girl.
I know who it is, but
Zoe Saldana is Gamora.
No, I know their actors' names.
Oh.
But when you say their characters' names, that mean nothing to me.
Oh yeah, I don't either. Yeah, and Kate Winslet's going to be one of the Na'vi in this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They're going to bring back the Titanic people.
On the human side of the story, Giovanni Ribisi.
He was in the first one.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
He's a corporate administrator of the RDA mining operation in the first film.
Oh boy, here we go again. It's going to be the same plot.
Joe David Moore is playing Dr. Norman's former part of the Avatar program who chose to side with the Na'vi in the first film. Edie Falco is back, or is in this movie.
I don't know what's worse, having you read the cast.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, supposedly this has been going on since 2006.
Yes, Mark. They just filmed. They finished the third movie. Well, they had to shut down because of COVID. They did shut down because of COVID. But anywho, my prediction is this movie will do well.
The thing is luckily for Sam Worthington, probably not so much for Zoe Saldana at the time. Sam Worthington and Saldana confirmed that in January of 2010, which I believe is the year after the first movie came out,
right?
That they would be reprising the roles in the sequels. They had signed on then.
Wow. Well, it was the biggest movie at the time. It was huge.
They were banking on Sam Worthington's acting career to really take off.
Well, he was in the remake of
Terminator.
He wasn't Terminator, but he was in the remake of The Gods.
He was in Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans, and they did a sequel to it too.
They did, yeah.
And I saw Clash of the Titans at the drive-in.
Yeah, that's how long ago that movie came out.
Yeah, and it was okay. Drive-in, Mansfield Drive-in still open.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway, that is the news. Let's move on to our review, Mark. We got lots to talk about. Doctor Strange 2. Are you still hyper focused on Avatar 2 for some reason?
I'm trying to figure out what Sam Worthington's been up to in the past 10 years.
He's been filming these movies. That's it. That's all he's been doing.
I guess he was in a TV show. He was doing TV stuff.
All right.
So
the Sam Worthington TV show?
No, he was in a show, Manhunt.
Never saw it.
2017 to 2020.
Wow. Well, good for him.
Yeah. And then he's in this that Andrew Garfield show that they're promoting. I think it's on Peacock or one of those. Under the Banner of Heaven. He's in that. So
yeah, Hulu. It looks good.
Hulu, that's what it is. Yeah. I knew it was on one of those. So yeah. The last big movie he made was The Shack, which was terrible.
The Shack?
Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I remember it being a really bad movie.
All right, we trailed off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm getting bored by Sam Worthington's career.
I'm kind of enthralled by the Sam Worthington enigma.
Sam Worthington. Why? I don't care.
I don't know. I just have this weird fascination with how people find him to be such a good actor.
I guess. Yeah.
The movies he's been in is very eclectic selection of films. Avatar
2,
Terminator. Really not much branching.
No.
Sam Worthington acting. Which I haven't seen. I mean, there probably is. I mean, there's probably people out there that could tell us, but whatever.
Let's move on.
Doctor Strange. We saw that on Thursday.
We did. And I have to say, it was the longest commercial trailer thing. Half an hour, exactly. Not only was it commercials and trailers, then after we thought it was over, they threw a couple more commercials at us.
Just to throw at us.
I was like, are you kidding me?
That stupid Verbo ad. I would see that stupid Verbo ad one more time. Kermit.
Dude, they did the popcorn thing. They did the soda thing. We're thinking, we're done here. All right. One more commercial.
Nope. Here's 2 more commercials for you.
Oh, geez.
Thanks, Cinema.
Anyway, yeah, it made the movie feel extra long.
Makes me run back to Agawam. That's what it made me feel like. I was like, I just want to go back to Agawam. I don't care if the theater's not that big and the chair's not that comfortable, but I don't have to sit through a half an hour of
ads. Right. Yeah.
The movie says it's supposed to start at 7. It starts at 7. It doesn't start at 8 o'clock.
What they should start doing is saying that the movie starts at 7:15, but the trailer starts at 7:15, and the movie's really going to start at
well, no, because no one go and watch the trailers. They want you to go and watch the trailers. That's the shtick of it.
Yeah, but we all know.
It's just you'll just build in a time frame. That's what you really have to do now. You just got to start building in, especially if you're assigned seats now. It's not like you're going to get a seat that you have to rush to get to.
Exactly.
If you already have an assigned seat, I'm gonna stop going until half an hour. I'm gonna give myself a half an hour leeway to get my popcorn and everything and not have to rush in there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've seen all the trailers online.
Yeah.
I don't need.
Yeah. I'm not seeing anything. The only one that we hadn't seen was Avatar.
Yeah, that was the big one. That was the
big one. Thor we already had seen.
Now the reception was interesting when we saw Avatar, the trailer. People were just kind of like, "What?"
Yes.
We're making fun
happening.
Of it.
It's really happening.
Yeah.
Yes. From
anyway,
the movie you didn't want to see department.
Yeah. But Doctor Strange 2 was a movie I did want to see.
No one asked for.
I was very excited for, and it delivered. I've been thinking about it all weekend. I've been listening to the soundtrack. Danny Elfman's soundtrack was really good.
Of course you have, yes. Danny Elfman, you could fart into a phone if you you'd listen to it at least 20 times.
Probably. I'm sure he would do it amazingly too.
He would put a very, very good tone and length. Nice vibrato.
Did you see that woman who farted at the Johnny Depp?
I heard all about it.
Dude, it's fucking hilarious.
I'm staying as far away from the Johnny Depp coverage as I can because
it's so fucking funny.
I don't care. I really don't care.
But you do care.
What 2 people argue about is not my responsibility to worry.
No, but you care.
No, because I literally at the beginning of it, I was like, okay, what's going on here? And then at this point, I'm now
Can you, wait, hold on. Let me pause and turn it up. You care. Okay. This woman farts, but it's so casual. All right, hold on.
You just described, for those of us who have no idea, like myself, what does arnica cream look like?
I'm sorry, that was me.
I'm sorry, that was me. It just kept going, no big deal.
Dude, it was great. The way she just
goes, she even raised up.
Yes, she raised the cheek. She raised the cheek.
You get nervous, things happen.
And then they actually had a camera shot of Johnny Depp, and he's just playing with something in his pocket. And when she farts, he just goes. It was hilarious. Dude, the way she does it is beyond cat. Oh, that was me. And she just.
The fact that this is still going on. This trial, whatever it is still going on. Baffles my brain that this is
all right.
What our justice system is evolved to is listening to 2 people argue about nonsense.
Well, it's not nonsense. But anyway, let's talk about Doctor Strange.
Oh, that we're interested in it is nonsense. That we're all interested in hearing about it is nonsense.
It's gossip. It's fun. It's stupid.
I guess.
Everybody loves gossip.
I guess.
So anyway, Doctor Strange 2.
Doctor Strange 2.
I don't want to ruin this movie. I say go see it. A lot of great things do happen. We might spoil some stuff by accident.
We're going to go into a spoiler direction in a little bit, but I'm going to start off saying it's not a film, it's an event. And Matt Ryan got mad at me for saying this, but to me, it wasn't a film. It was just like a Marvel event.
I don't agree with that.
It wasn't like whose movie was it? Was it really a Doctor Strange movie?
It was both.
Was it a Scarlet Witch movie? Was it America Chavez movie?
She was barely in it, but
she was the main plot of the whole story.
Yeah, but she was
Her
not.
character was the main motivation of the whole story.
Yeah, but she was Doctor Strange. We've come to a point. This is where I disagree with you. We've come to a point in MCU movies where side characters are in it just as much as as the name. Like Captain America: Civil War. Was it a Captain America movie?
No. No, she just called it Civil War.
Thor Ragnarok. Was that a Thor Ragnarok or was that the Thor and Loki show? I mean,
that was Thor Ragnarok because Thor was the main.
But Doctor Strange, they each have their own.
That's a bad example, but that's fine.
Loki was in that movie.
Like Captain America: Civil War should just been called Civil War or Marvel Civil War.
But
been called Captain America: Civil War.
But they called it that, and I think we're at a point where these characters are part of each other's lives, so it doesn't matter. Like, I don't think it should matter. It's Doctor Strange. I feel like him and Wanda. It could have been called Doctor Strange and Wanda.
It could have been called Scarlet Witch, Multiverse
or Scarlet Witch, but she was the bad guy, and they were trying to trick us with the promotions, and it works because I didn't think
it really wasn't that great.
I didn't think she was the bad guy.
Yeah, if you'd watched WandaVision, you would have known where that was heading, but that's here nor there.
Well, I think at this point we've already discussed this. They're assuming you've seen it. If you're a fan.
Which is my one thing I did dislike about this movie. It's the first Marvel movie where you had to have previous knowledge.
No.
You couldn't go, if you didn't watch WandaVision and you came into this movie, if you hadn't seen WandaVision at all, like say you had never seen WandaVision, never watched the episode. Like Claire has not seen any WandaVision. I told her, if you go see this movie without seeing WandaVision, it's not gonna have the same stakes as if you had seen WandaVision.
Mark, I hate to break it to you, all Marvel movies at this point are that way.
That's not true. Like you could have seen the No Way Home and not had any previous knowledge of what's going on.
Are you kidding me? No Way Home literally starts where the last movie ends. So if you didn't see the last movie, you're kind of confused about what's going on.
But they actually talk about it though in that movie. Like in No Way Home, the first 5 minutes of it, they talk about what happened in the movie before that.
Well, all they talk about was all you know is that Peter's identity was exposed.
But in this movie, a little bit of entering spoiler territory now. You go into this movie, and in the first 5 minutes of it, you find out like America Chavez, and you find out about her deal.
Yeah.
Then Doctor Strange has his dream or whatever, and then he wakes up, and then they go into the thing, and then he goes to talk to Wanda, and Wanda says America's name, and she's like, "Oh, I never told you. You never told me her name, did you?"
But she
and
also
you find out she's the bad person in the movie, or she's the villain of the movie.
But they show you the
find
whole
out her thing about it. You don't see, like, they don't go into why. Like, if you hadn't seen WandaVision, you'd be like, "How did Wanda have kids? Who are these kids? Where do these kids come from?"
Yeah, but they show you. Like, she wakes up, she's with the kids, and then she wakes up and she's not with them.
It doesn't tell you that that doesn't. If you hadn't seen WandaVision, you wouldn't know what that's about. You wouldn't understand that. That's what I'm saying. He's like, you wouldn't have any knowledge of that.
Yeah.
This is the first Marvel movie, I think, that you have to go into And you had to have had that backstory of WandaVision.
I think
like if you don't have that backstory of what happened in WandaVision with the kids and the Vision story of losing Vision again, and the kids aren't real, and it's like all in like something she put together in her head, and the whole thing with Agatha and her getting the Darkhold. Like you also don't know what the Darkhold is.
Well, they tell you what the Darkhold is.
If you hadn't seen WandaVision, you wouldn't know what the Darkhold's about.
But they explain it though. They explain it. So
but not like in a way that you would like really like have any tangible things to it. I think we know about it because we've seen WandaVision.
I think you're overthinking it, Mark.
We've seen all these other movies, but I think your enjoyment of the movie would not be as much if you didn't have that background information.
Yes, but if I didn't, I don't think I would be like, if I wasn't into MCU movies, I wouldn't be seeing this movie by itself. I would be like, oh, maybe I should watch the Spider-Man movie because the multiverse, or like when you watch this movie, there is a lot of knowledge that you have to bring to really enjoy everything.
That's what I'm saying is that you have to have
knowledge.
If you come into it, like if Claire were to go see this movie tomorrow and she hadn't seen WandaVision, in a lesser extent hadn't seen What If, you would go into it and like you'd have a lot of questions. She would like literally, like I said to her, you have to watch these shows first before we go see the movie, because I can't be answering 9,000 questions, because you know it's going to be like where she had kids, who she had kids with, where the kids come from.
Yes, I agree.
These kids,
listen,
why are they important?
We just talked about this last week when I watched No Way Home with Allison and you watched it with Claire. You had to pause it to give her info. Every MCU, I hate to break it to you, but we're so down this rabbit hole that if you were to watch one MCU movie,
I'm saying I think this is the first
time
you
had lost.
Seen. Let me preface the way I said it. I think if you, not the first time you had to have previous knowledge going into it, I think it's the first time you had to have watched a Disney Plus show, which is not a movie. Whereas in the usual movie storyline, all those stories are connected.
Yeah, and now the shows
first time you have to like had seen a show that's not in the movie theater.
Just wait until
watch this.
The next Captain America movie where Falcon, people are gonna be like, when did this happen?
No,
but like
so
us as people who watch this, it's very popular. So it's not like, I think we're the majority, not the minority here.
Yeah.
I think when you when I showed Allison No Way Home, I was like, oh man, well, she didn't see the last Spider-Man movie, so she's gonna be a little lost there.
Yeah.
Oh, also, she didn't see the ending part of Endgame, or she didn't see Endgame, so she doesn't know Tony Stark died. So if I showed her that Spider-Man movie,
I've not seen Endgame yet.
We watched.
You're terrible.
I know. So I'm like, well, now I got to show her that because she's gonna be lost about Tony Stark. So it's like, it becomes endless. It becomes endless. You're just like, oh my god! If you watch one movie, it might spoil something.
And you also need it for Doctor Strange because they talk about the blip. So you wouldn't have any tangible idea what's going on with that. Like, what do you mean you were gone for 5 years?
Yeah. So, I think overall we all know what's going on. For the few folks who watch these movies, you could be lost. But I don't think it's a big sticking point at this point.
Oh, I think it's a sticking point. I'm just saying I think it's the first one where it actually, like when we saw WandaVision and all that, we knew that they were involved in the wider universe.
Yeah.
I don't think we realized at the time, like we had to have watched that whole thing to make this movie make more sense, is all I'm saying.
Yes, I agree. I think this movie was a great payoff to that. You have to get that door?
Yes, I think it's my brother.
You're like,
probably my brother.
Oh, Jake. All right. Anyway, let's move past. Yes, let's move past that. We discussed that last week about.
Yeah. We discussed that it was a possibility. We weren't sure if you'd had to. And now, you're correct that you had to have that knowledge.
Yeah, I think you do. But I also don't feel you need to see What If at all to enjoy this.
No, I mean, it would just like you would have more. You'd know who one of the members of the Illuminati was.
Yeah, but I mean,
you just didn't have to watch the Inhuman show on ABC to understand who that other person was.
Right, and honestly, they're all people from different multiverses, they're variants. So honestly, what if just gives you that?
In that universe, they're technically those people in that universe. So they're not variants. They're that universe's people.
Yes. But I bring up the variant thing because in Loki, we do know there can be variants of those people as well.
Yes.
And we also, with the Illuminati, we did have, Sir Patrick Stewart reprise his role as Professor X.
Not even just any Professor X, 1997 X-Men Professor X with a yellow floating wheelchair.
Yeah, which was really cool to see.
It's amazingly cool to see.
We did have our the John Krasinski show up as
the debut of Fantastic Four in the Marvel Universe.
Now, he could be a variant and we can never see him again, or
I don't think so. I think he'd be I think that's them saying these are the new people that are playing these. Because I think it just makes no sense not to.
Maybe.
Why would you waste that on a one scene, basically?
I don't know.
I mean, when you hit the home run with your casting for a cameo appearance, why wouldn't you just keep that?
You could, Mark. You're right.
It seems like a waste of cameo.
So John Krasinski did make his appearance. Our exhausting conversation about Tom Cruise being a variant of Tony Stark did not come to fruition, thank God. I don't know why John was so obsessed with that. Maybe to get me going, but I'm glad it didn't happen.
It wasn't to get you going. It was definitely to get you going.
We did have the guy reprise his role from Inhumans.
Yes.
Which was, if you didn't even watch Inhumans, I knew it was the actor, but I totally forgot about that show. That scene with the Illuminati, I don't even want to spoil it. It's really good, well done. It's very interesting what they did with that. I think overall, Doctor Strange 2 is probably the most violent I've seen an MCU movie in a long time.
Oh, it was definitely the most violent one.
And the most scary. There's some really well done horror moments that Sam Raimi pulled off.
Brian jumped, everybody.
Yeah, I did jump.
Brian had a jump scare.
I did have a jump scare.
I did not, which is I felt very proud of myself.
Yeah.
Which is surprising since I figured I would be the one that would have gotten a little bit. Wasn't scared at all.
Yeah. I did. My absolute favorite part of the movie was the zombie Doctor Strange.
Yes.
And he basically makes his cape with a bunch of souls.
Yes. Very Army of Darkness-esque.
It was awesome. It was so silly when he's trying to talk.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot of fun.
Half ripped off already.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I guess in that world, he's very musically inclined. So they end up having this musical note off.
Well, no, it just happens to be by the piano.
Yeah, but he had musical things. So
he just had the
I don't think he was
all of them.
I don't think he was a doctor.
Yeah, no, he was a pianist when he was a doctor. He played the piano.
Yeah, so this
first movie.
The evil Doctor Strange.
Yes.
So that was a lot of fun to see.
Yes.
Then, I mean, I'm skipping over a lot of stuff. I don't want to spoil everything.
Yeah.
The new character was America Chavez,
yes.
Her power is she doesn't know how to go between multiverses, but
she has multiverse transportation talents.
And when she gets angry or scared,
she opens a portal to another universe.
She kills her.
She doesn't kill her parents. She transports them to a different universe
by mistake.
She gets sucked to another universe.
And she's been looking for them ever since.
Yes.
And this was Disney's way of saying, look, we have moms that could easily be cut out for our Chinese theater release. They could cut that right out and it wouldn't even make a difference.
It's just a memory.
Yeah. Anyway, I just think it's funny. They make it conveniently enough so they can edit this stuff out so when they can still make their money overseas.
Yes.
But I think they said something, they weren't cutting out. Someone refused to cut out some scenes. I think it was some other movie. Anyway, her character is a new addition to the MCU. She's now being brought in, and she's be part of the the clan there. Well, I can't think of their name. Mark, pay attention. What are you doing?
I'm looking at Marcus Chavez. What clan? Foot Clan?
No, she's now part of Doctor Strange's part of the people there. I can't think of what they're called. You don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I don't know what they're called.
She's training.
I can't think of it.
She's training because you're
sorcerers. There's part of the sorcerers.
Yeah. The interesting part is the Darkhold still got into Doctor Strange a little bit, and it's allowed his third eye. Now, I did some research on the whole third eye thing.
Yes.
Now, the third eye, originally, the necklace that he wears, that was his third eye in the comic book, but they made it into the necklace with the time gem, but that would be
his third eye, yes.
Third eye in the comic. Now, the third eye thing, it can do, it can help him like
record 90s alt rock music.
Yes, third eye blind.
Yes.
But it can see
Jumper
people are lying. It can see different things. So now he has to hone that in.
Yes.
And it's interesting the way they ended it. The third eye opens and he screams, but then we come back for the bonus shot.
Yes.
And
which takes place, I'm assuming, later on.
Must be.
He's more relaxed and used to it by then.
Yeah.
Like he had figured out how to work it and everything by then.
And then all of a sudden, what's her face? Theron shows up as this other new character.
Yes.
Not a new character for the MCU.
Yes.
And she breaks the time. She just rips into the time.
She breaks into reality.
Yeah, and she's like, I need your help. And he opens his third eye and he's like, okay. And they just jump in together.
Let's do this.
Come to find out, this is a love interest for Doctor Strange in the comic books.
The wife of Doctor Strange.
Yes, eventually they do get married. This becomes quickly his girlfriend. She basically can time jump through dimensions of some sort.
Clea.
Yeah, Clea. So nobody expected to see her.
No.
Basically, all of Hollywood is now in the MCU. We're getting to that point.
Which, from talking to people at Free Comic Book Day, and I think we talked about this after the thing, Incursions was the thing that brought about the Secret Wars. Multiple incursions from different realities.
Oh,
they could be leading towards the next big Marvel movie,
after the multiple
movie, the next big like Avengers type movie could be Secret Wars.
Yeah,
which would be amazing.
Because I mean, there is kind of like this tearing of universes. People are time jumping. It's getting messy, and we do know it's weird because in the Loki show, they don't like people time jumping from what that show told us.
No, exactly.
But now, because they destroyed those, the ruler, those three puppets, originally they were talking.
Kang was controlling everything.
Yeah, but Kang's kind of like...
Kang doesn't want anyone finding out that he's hiding out.
Right.
Which I think is what Clea was talking about with the incursion. I think that's what she was talking about, was Loki and Kang and all that stuff that's going on.
Yeah. So we could be seeing a lot of cameos and
she opens a portal. Like I said, I remembered that being something, that portal that she opens was somewhere, and I'm like, I know that's somewhere. It's the dark dimension from Doctor Strange 1, because Clea is the daughter of Dormammu.
Yeah.
who was the bad that Doctor Strange was fighting at the end of 1.
Yeah.
So
should be good.
yes.
It did set up some good stuff. Overall, I love the. I mean, I enjoyed the movie a lot. Final thoughts, Mark. I'm going to give you mine, and then I want you to give me yours. We'll do our rating.
Yes.
My final thought is it was great to see Sam Raimi directing a superhero movie. It was good to see him direct anything. I love his style. He got to use that style in this movie well, as much as he could do it. The writing was great. I think it was a great movie. I loved how they didn't go full. We didn't need all the comedy, which is great. They played it straight. It had some moments. I think it worked overall. Is definitely one of my favorite, more on the top side of MCU movies for me. I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. The reason I give it, I knock it down, it would be a 9. I feel like, to go back to what you were saying, I feel like a little bit more explanation in the beginning. Some stuff could be tightened up a little bit, I think, in the middle. I think more explanation about Wanda for people who didn't watch WandaVision.
I think even if you just did, like, I was thinking about it after the fact, and I thought, like, there was a scene where Professor X goes into Wanda's head, and he's walking towards the rock outcrop, and Wanda's underneath, like, non-Scarlet Witch Wanda.
Yeah.
Is underneath and, like, wanting to get out and be saved, and that's when Scarlet Witch kills Professor X. But they did this scene, like, there was this thing with the TV playing WandaVision on it.
Right.
And I think if there was something at the beginning of that movie, if the first, like, couple minutes of it was like a WandaVision, like last time on WandaVision, and they did, like, a quick, like, recap thing, like they did in the WandaVision show.
Yeah.
Explaining, like, what happened in WandaVision. Quick, easy, answered all the questions. Caught everyone up, and you'd been good to go.
I almost wanted a little bit more in that scene too. It was a good scene, but I kind of felt like they could have gave us the little recap through him being in her head.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They could have had it anywhere. It could have been anywhere in the thing. Like, it could have been any kind of little thing of a TV popping on.
Yeah.
Showing that, like, Wanda herself trying to show them, like, it's not me doing this. It's the Scarlet Witch is taking over my consciousness. I think they could have done more with that battle of Wanda and Scarlet Witch.
Well, they did, because they do see each other, and
they did it like multiversal. But if they, like, in her own self, like, the reasoning behind why she's doing this,
right,
I think would have been more poignant than just another multiverse Wanda being used as, like, the conduit to explain that.
And where was Vision?
That's what I said the whole time. He's off building a boat somewhere.
But in that multiverse, wouldn't Vision had been alive in the father?
Wouldn't Vision be alive in our universe? White Vision's still floating around somewhere.
Yeah, but he has no emotions now. So that makes sense.
He still would have had some kind of, like, if Wanda was doing something, I'm pretty sure would have come back to try to talk her out of it.
No, but he has he's emotionless, so he doesn't care. But I'm saying in that ultimate that the universe she goes to,
universe, Vision's still floating around.
He
unless Vision dies in every universe.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, those are the questions I have.
Yeah.
I get why White Vision wouldn't come back, because he does not have emotion. He doesn't care. He's done.
Yeah.
Get it. But in another world, would he still be there?
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool to see him.
Yeah. No.
But
again, this is like, it goes back to the same thing that we always have with these Marvel movies. If something like this is going on, and you have teams like the Avengers floating around, and Spider-Man, all these things, why do these heroes not go run to help?
Well, because they have to deal with their own stuff.
It's like a multiverse creature just pops up in the middle of nowhere. It's like no one else was like, oh, Strange can handle it. I'll just stay over here. I'm 2 blocks away, swinging around in my webs. He doesn't need any help. He just helped me like.
Well, I mean that's every comic.
Why would I help him out?
That's every comic book, and it's
just one of those stupid things that drives me nuts.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is.
It's like,
you know why they can't have a budget that big?
Like Eternals, they can have a huge alien pop up over the whole planet, but only the Eternals are the ones that could do anything about it. No one calls the Avengers the ones that save the planet from everything.
Yeah, but the Avengers don't exist anymore right now.
No, I know, but like whoever's left of the Avengers wouldn't appear, or someone wouldn't appear to save and help.
You know, not one movie has brought up that moment yet. I'm waiting for someone.
No, yeah, like there's no like crotch shot of the alien from under the equator or anything, you know.
Well, massive earthquakes would have happened.
Yeah, a lot of stuff would have happened.
Yeah, we haven't heard. So I don't know where in the timeline where Eternals lands, but we got to hear something.
So going into
what you
Doctor Strange real quick, and we just mentioned Celestials in the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Epcot. The big villain in that is a Celestial. So they'll be around for a while.
Huh?
But they'll be around for a while, the Celestials.
Yes. All right, Mark, final thoughts on Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, for me, not my favorite Marvel movie.
No?
I think after No Way Home, it was a downgrade from No Way Home. For me, I think it'd probably be like an 8.
I give it an 8 too.
Yeah.
But for different reasons.
Yeah.
I still loved it.
It was good. It just wasn't like the Illuminati thing. I never read the Illuminati stories, so it didn't really like do anything for me. To me, it was just a random team of people that they had thrown together. So I know John was all tweaked out about it. I could hear him making odd noises next to you.
I never read the Illuminati either, but
I never into it. But John seems to be really into it, so he was all about it. Like, oh, I was like, okay.
I mean, it's an 8 for me. It's definitely I'm gonna buy it. I want to see it again. It might go up.
I'll watch it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as I call these movies now, the bridge stories to the bigger story.
I enjoy them all. I
think this is the first true Phase 4 movie.
Well, no, I think we've been in Phase 4 for a while. The TV show.
The first one was, I know, movie, I said.
Oh. Well, No Way Home.
No Way Home was like a...
Eternals. Shang-Chi. Phase 4.
Yeah, but they didn't like, of the bigger characters I'm talking about, like the actual characters people care about. Like,
well,
Shang-Chi was like an intro character.
Those are the characters we have.
It had a connection. Again, here's another one. Where were those two? If they were with Wong in the end of Shang-Chi, where were they?
Good
Where was
question.
Shang-Chi and his sidekick? And if Wong was going off to do stuff in No Way Home, I'm assuming that was to go somewhere. Like, what is that story? Like, there was no connection to that. Like, what was he doing during that?
You know what? It might be leading to something. It might be leading to something. Because now we have America Chavez part of that team.
America Chavez is part of the sorcerers.
But
Shang-Chi is with Wong in his story.
Yeah.
The Eternals story is happening, but there's not been a connecting to all of them yet. The only connection we have right now is Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
The other 2 movies that have come out aren't connected to the bigger story yet.
Ant-Man could be connected.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Shang-Chi's just gonna, what is his connection to everything? Like, how is he coming into the universe?
They're gonna build,
like he's in the universe, but he's not connected to it yet.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's a weird thing that's been this long. I mean, I know the COVID stuff, but I mean, besides that, just like storyline wise of Marvel, that it's been this many movies since his movie came out, where at the end of his movie, he meets a character in the Doctor Strange universe of movies. And he goes into the portal with him. Then Doctor Strange has a movie with Spider-Man. No mention of Shang-Chi. You see Wong go off somewhere, which I'm assuming is to that fortress or whatever. And now you have a whole movie of Doctor Strange with Wong in it. And there's not one mention of Shang-Chi whatsoever.
Well, there was no need to, but
it just seems like you at least have him be at
Right.
that fortress helping defend it.
Yeah.
If he had been there before.
We don't know the timeline either. We don't know if this happened.
That's true too. It seems strange. It's like from the first set of movies, there was a through line through all of them. Like it was all leading to something. Whereas now it's like there's no real
the multiverse is kind of leading them.
Yeah, but I mean there's no like direct route right now, which is kind of the weird thing.
For all we know, Ant-Man, we could see a lot of these people in Ant-Man.
We thought we'd see a lot of people in Doctor Strange, and we didn't.
I didn't. I just knew about the Illuminati, but I didn't think I would see anybody else really. For me personally, I didn't think we were going to see like anybody beyond the usual group of folks. Shang-Chi, I totally forgot about, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right. It's like he's like a major character right now, and he's not in anything.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it will lead to something. Maybe Ant-Man. All right, we got to wrap this up before my computer dies, and I got to get to work. So this weekend, Townwide Tag Sale, Enfield, Connecticut.
Yes.
I will be selling stuff. The digital map can be found at Townwide Tag Sale on Facebook. You can download it. Has all the addresses. Then May 29th is QuipsCon at the hotel in Bristol.
Yes.
It looks like I probably will be there.
Nice.
Matt will be debuting his new comic book there.
It's new comic, Brenda.
Yeah, with three covers.
3 covers. Collect all 3.
Yeah, so that's all happening this month. We'll worry about June and June. Hopefully we'll have Matt on.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if we can get him on that week beforehand.
Cool. All right, we should get out of here, Mark. It's been a show.
It's going to be. It has been, and we'll be back next week. Don't know what we're gonna be talking about. There's not much going on right now. We didn't even get to talk about Moon Knight, so we still got to do that next week.
We'll talk about
next week. A lot of things going on.
Yeah,
and Halo is still going on somehow. But anyways, so all that and more next week here on the show. As always, be good, be safe, be kind.
Rewind.
Bye, everybody.